Hey guys, Josh Lucas from Sword Carolina, as always Aaron Schober, and we are here bringing you a two-part series on the Schielhau. The Schielhau is the squinting strike for a couple of reasons, but normally when you do it you're kind of looking over your shoulder, but it can also be kind of a hairy type of technique to pull in certain situations, which we'll show. So that's why we kind of dubbed it the squinting strike, because you're like, oh, please don't hit me while you're doing it. So the basics of a Schielhau is one to where you get an opportunity to do a defense and an offense at the same time. The manuals actually point out that it is very useful against a buffalo. So someone who is very strong, someone who is very aggressive, just coming at you full force, the Schielhau is an excellent opportunity to do that. So basically what we do is, you can do it from Vom Tag or really most of the guards. It's one that the first part of the Schielhau crosses your body, and the second part is actually a cut down, or if you're at a great distance, a thrust. So basically we're taking, if our thumb is on the inside flat of our sword, it's actually moving from the left to the right, remaining on the inside. And then when you get here, you'll be doing a cut down. So the idea is I'm collecting the sword from a thrust, or I'm moving it to my left side to block the Oberhau that's coming in, and then doing a simultaneous attack. And the type of attack is really going to depend on the range that you're at after you do that. So obviously if Aaron is cutting at me, we're going to be a little bit closer distance, and I do a Schielhau, collect the sword, I'm going to be immediately cutting. If Aaron is thrusting at me and I do a Schielhau, a little bit more distance, I'm going to be thrusting. But you can see in both situations to where it's passing in front of my body. That's the defensive motion, sets me up for an automatic offensive motion. So now that we have the basic movement of the Schielhau, let's focus on the opening that we're going to attack, where we're actually going to aim our strike. The manual says to aim for not Aaron's the closest opening to me, his left upper opening. It actually says to aim for his right upper opening. And we've kind of concluded the reason for this is if I get him there, that's fine. But because I'm typically collecting his sword or absorbing a blow, if I aim far out, what I'll actually do is when I make contact, I'll either hit him in the head, or worst case, I'll hit him in his upper left opening. So by aiming at his far opening, if there's any pressure on the sword, I am actually going to hit him and not be way out here when I finish. So you want to aim kind of across his body to the far opening with the Schielhau.
The Schielhau also breaks an opponent's attempt to Durchwechseln, or to change through from one side of your sword, go underneath, and come up on the other side of the sword. So if Josh will demonstrate this, if he's cutting at me with an Oberhau and I'm moving in to defend against his sword, it's very easy for him to pull his sword underneath and attack on the other side. One thing we think why he might be doing the Durchwechseln is that the Schielhau kind of looks like a purely defensive Oberhau. As I come in, I'm crossing my body. He may think that I'm just going to try to catch his sword here, but in reality, I'm going to cut out and long against him. So we have two different possible interpretations for this. I bet you have a third one. The first one is if he's trying to do a really, really tight motion of a Durchwechseln, I may actually catch his sword in the Schielhau, and then I can either cut him, or for a farther length, I might be able to thrust him from here. The other would be if he was doing a larger movement with the Durchwechseln, he's going to come all the way around to the other side, but because I'm cutting directly at him, I'm ending up with my sword on line while he's still moving to the side. So he's having to move before he attacks. I'm attacking directly to where I'm thrusting at him. My point's already on line as he's coming into position, so it allows me to out-time him. If after I've thrown the Schielhau, I don't hit him with the cut, say he was at distance, and I'm going in for the thrust, I'm probably going to wind my sword out and come up on the other side. This also gives me more range. If my hand is turned, I shorten my range, which is why it's called the short edge in the first place. So I'm going to turn my long edge toward him to get extra range on the thrust. So another thing with him doing the Durchwechseln, he's probably staying at wider range so that he can get clear of my sword. That will allow me to either thrust him in the body or the face before he has a chance to come over.